Welcome to Coins History. Treasure hunters. What if I told you that the dirty old quarter sitting in your pocket right now could buy you a brand new car? We're talking about Washington quarters worth thousands, and they're still out there waiting for someone greedy enough to find them. Coin 1. Imagine finding a single quarter in your pocket change that could be worth thousands of dollars today. One simple Washington quarter, dated 1965, with no mint mark, that could transform from spare change into a treasure of numismatic history. Most people spend it without a second thought, but what if that coin you just dropped into a vending machine was actually worth more than an ounce of gold? Stay tuned, because the story of the 1965 no-mint mark Washington quarter is one of the most incredible twists in American coinage history. Take a close look at this coin. At first glance, it looks completely ordinary. George Washington's proud profile, the bold date, 1965, and the eagle poised on the reverse, all seem typical of quarters we see every day. But hidden beneath that simple design could lie one of the rarest minting errors in U.S. history. The 1965 no-mint mark quarter may look like an everyday coin, but certain versions are anything but normal. They were struck on silver planchets instead of the copper-nickel composition that was introduced that very year. That single difference turns an everyday coin into a collector's jackpot. To understand how this happened, we need to step back into the mid-1960s, a time of great change for U.S. coinage. In 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver in quarters and switched to a copper-nickel blend because silver prices were skyrocketing. But somewhere during that transition, a few leftover silver planchets from 1964 made their way into the presses and were accidentally struck with 1965 dies. These error coins were never meant to exist, yet a few escaped the mint, blending in with millions of ordinary quarters circulating across the country. That's why these silver 1965 quarters with no mint mark are so incredibly rare and valuable today. Collectors have spent decades hunting for them, and the discoveries have been nothing short of thrilling. Imagine the excitement of someone realizing that their dull-looking quarter was in fact struck on a 90% silver planchet, a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of these extraordinary finds have come straight from pocket change, coin rolls, or old jars of quarters that have been sitting forgotten for decades. Each discovery sends shockwaves through the collector community and reignites the passion for one of America's most beloved coins. Now, when we compare the 1965 no-mint mark silver quarter to regular clad quarters, the difference in value is staggering. A normal 1965 quarter is worth exactly 25 cents, but the rare silver transitional error version can command thousands at auction. These coins have become the holy grail for Washington quarter collectors, prized for their beauty, history, and incredible mistake that defied the mint's strict production rules. Collectors and investors alike crave these coins because they combine rarity, historical significance, and undeniable visual appeal. The absence of a mint mark adds to the mystery, since in 1965, mint marks were intentionally removed from all coins to discourage hoarding, making these errors even harder to track and authenticate. Now, let's talk about real money, the jaw-dropping auction prices that have made headlines across the numismatic world. A verified 1965 Washington quarter struck on a silver planchet sold for an astounding $7,050 at a heritage auction event. Another high-grade example fetched nearly $9,000, proving just how much collectors are willing to pay for this elusive treasure. And those are genuine, verified sales, real money changing hands for what began as an accidental minting error more than half a century ago. If you're a collector or just someone who loves treasure hunting, here's what you need to know. Always check your 1965 quarters carefully. Look for a coin that feels slightly lighter in color, with a bright silver sheen instead of the dull gray tone of modern quarters. Weigh it. If it comes in at about 6.25 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams, you might have found a silver planchet strike. Use a magnet. Real silver isn't magnetic. And most importantly, get your coin authenticated by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC before selling or trading, because verification is what turns curiosity into cash. So the next time you get a handful of change, take a second look before you spend it. You might be holding one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever minted, a 1965 no-mint mark coin that slipped through history's cracks to become a modern legend. If you love learning about rare US coins and the real auction prices they command, make sure to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. We bring you the true stories, verified values, and hidden treasures that could be sitting in your own pocket right now. Don't miss the next coin that could change your life forever. Coin 2. Regular looking 1990 quarter with a tiny, deep mint mark that could be worth thousands of dollars today. What if that coin sitting in your pocket change right now is actually one of the rarest and most valuable Washington quarters ever struck by the US Mint? Don't blink, because the story behind the 1990 Washington quarter is one that has shocked collectors, surprised dealers, and turned ordinary pocket finds into incredible paydays. Take a close look at this coin. At first glance, it looks like every other Washington quarter you've ever seen. The bold image of George Washington, the sharp date, 1990, and that small, D mint mark beneath it, standing for the Denver Mint. But what if I told you that a few of these 1990 D quarters left the mint with mysterious and valuable minting errors that make them worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars today? From double strikes and missing layers to rare die varieties, these coins are turning heads across the collecting community. This is not just spare change, it's hidden treasure in your hands. Now let's dive into the story behind it. In 1990, the United States Mint in Denver produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters as part of the regular circulation run. By all accounts, these coins were meant to be completely ordinary, made of copper-nickel-clad composition, and bearing no surprises. But within that massive production, a few slipped through with rare minting errors that no one expected. Some were struck on experimental planchets, others show off-center strikes or double die obverse where Washington's face or lettering appears duplicated under magnification. These tiny imperfections, barely visible to the naked eye, turned a 25-cent coin into something far more valuable. Stories have surfaced of lucky collectors and even casual finders who discovered these rare 1990 D quarters in old coin rolls, bank bags, and inherited collections. Imagine the thrill of spotting a doubled, "In God We Trust" under magnification, or noticing that the reverse eagle design is slightly misaligned. Those tiny details could mean your coin is one of the rare few worth serious money. The rarity lies not just in the year or mint mark, but in the combination of error, condition, and provenance that sets these coins apart from the millions of ordinary ones still in circulation. Collectors are always on the hunt for these elusive 1990 D errors, and competition is fierce. While regular 1990 D quarters might be worth face value, pristine, uncirculated examples with high grades from PCGS or NGC can fetch hundreds of dollars. The reason? Demand for high-grade modern quarters has skyrocketed as collectors aim to complete perfect sets of Washington quarters spanning multiple decades. But when you add a verified minting error, the price jumps to an entirely new level. These coins are not just historical, they're conversation starters, investments, and tangible pieces of American minting history. Now, let's talk real numbers, because this is where it gets exciting. A verified 1990 D Washington quarter in near-perfect condition, graded MS67 by PCGS, sold for a staggering $1,620 at auction. Another error example, featuring an off-center strike, brought in over $1,000. These aren't myths or online rumors, these are real, documented auction results from major numismatic sales, proving that the 1990 D Washington quarter can truly be worth a small fortune under the right circumstances. If you're a collector, or even just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, here's what you need to know. Always inspect your 1990 D quarters carefully under good lighting and magnification. Look for double dies, missing clad layers, off-center strikes, or unusually thick rims. Coins with full mint luster and no scratches should be kept in protective holders and considered for grading by PCGS or NGC. You can search coin rolls from banks, check old family collections, or visit coin shows where dealers sometimes overlook rare errors hidden among bulk coins. The key is patience, precision, and passion, because finding one of these rare pieces could mean turning 25 cents into thousands of dollars overnight. So before you spend that next quarter, take a closer look. You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable 1990 D Washington quarters ever made. The next great discovery could be sitting right in your change jar, waiting for you to notice. If you love learning about hidden treasures, record-breaking auction prices, and real collector stories, make sure to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. We bring you the truth behind America's most valuable coins and show you how everyday money can turn into extraordinary fortune. Don't miss your chance to uncover the next legendary coin hiding in plain sight. Coin 3. Finding a 1992 Washington quarter with a tiny P mint mark that could be worth thousands of dollars today. A coin that looks like every other quarter in your change, yet carries one of the rarest and most valuable minting errors in modern U.S. coin history. This is not just spare change, it's a treasure hiding in plain sight, and tonight we're uncovering the shocking truth about the rare 1992 P Washington quarter that's turning collectors' heads across America. Take a close look at this coin. On the surface, it seems completely ordinary. George Washington's proud portrait, the familiar United States of America across the top, and the date, 1992, stamped clearly below. But pay attention to that tiny P mint mark, because beneath it lies a mystery that has made this specific quarter one of the most talked about coins of the 1990s. A small number of these 1992 P quarters were accidentally struck using the proof design intended for collector sets, creating what experts call the 1992 P silver proof reverse variety. That mistake makes this coin an incredible rarity, and its discovery story is the stuff of modern numismatic legend. To understand how this happened, we need to rewind to the early 1990s, when the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia and San Francisco were both producing Washington quarters, Philadelphia for circulation coins, and San Francisco for proof sets. Somewhere during that transition, dies intended for the proof silver sets were mistakenly paired with circulation planchets at the Philadelphia Mint, creating a small run of 1992 P quarters with the proof reverse design. These hybrid coins display sharper, more detailed features, especially on the reverse where the eagle's wings and feathers are deeply defined, and the letters show the mirror-like finish normally reserved for collector editions. Only a few made it out before the error was caught, and the ones that escaped have since become some of the most coveted modern quarters in existence. Collectors have hunted these coins for years, and every new discovery causes an explosion of excitement across coin forums and auction houses. Imagine the thrill of finding one of these rare 1992 P quarters mixed in with your everyday change, or in an old jar of coins that's been sitting forgotten for decades. These coins blend in so well that many people have probably spent them without ever realizing their true value. It's like holding a tiny piece of minting history, born from a once-in-a-lifetime mistake that no one ever expected to leave the mint. Now, when we compare the 1992 P Washington quarter to its ordinary counterparts, the difference in collector demand is astonishing. Regular 1992 P quarters, even in mint condition, might sell for a few dollars at most, but the 1992 P proof reverse variety is a completely different story. It's a crossover between a circulation coin and a proof coin, something that should never have existed. Collectors call it a transitional proof error, and its rarity puts it in the same category as legendary coins like the 1970 small-date Lincoln cent and the 1965 silver transitional quarter. This is the kind of coin that changes a collection, and possibly your wallet, forever. Now let's talk about real money, because the numbers don't lie. One verified 1992 P Washington quarter with the proof reverse design sold for an incredible $1,420 at auction. Another high-grade example fetched nearly $2,000 in a private sale. These are documented sales, not rumors, real transactions that prove how much demand there is for this hidden gem of American coinage. Even lower-grade examples can sell for hundreds of dollars if authenticated, making every 1992 P quarter worth a second look. If you're a collector or just someone who loves hunting for treasures in everyday change, here's what to do. Examine your 1992 quarters under bright light or magnification and focus on the reverse side. Look for the proof-like detail in the eagle's feathers, sharper lettering, and a smoother, more reflective surface. These small clues could mean your coin was struck using a proof die, a dead giveaway of the rare variety. Always verify the weight and composition, and if you believe you found one, send it to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. You can search through coin rolls, inherited collections, or estate sales, because even after 3 decades, these coins are still being discovered today. so before you spend that next quarter, take one extra second to look at the date and that tiny P mint mark. You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable Washington quarters ever made, a simple 1992 P that slipped through the cracks of the mint and into history. If you love discovering real collector stories, true auction prices, and the secrets hiding in your own pocket change, make sure to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell. We bring you the most valuable coins, the verified sales, and the stories that prove history can still be found in your everyday money. Don't miss the next big discovery that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Coin 4. Pulling a regular 1994 Washington quarter from your pocket, only to discover it could be worth thousands of dollars today. One simple coin, with a small, P mint mark, hiding one of the rarest and most valuable modern minting errors ever released into circulation. What if that quarter you're about to spend on a parking meter is actually a rare treasure worth more than your entire coin jar combined? Stay tuned, because the story of the 1994 P Washington quarter will completely change the way you look at your spare change. Take a close look at this coin. It might seem completely ordinary at first. George Washington's strong profile faces left, the date, 1994, shines below, and that tiny P mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint rests just above. But beneath that familiar design lies a hidden world of secrets that only the sharpest collectors know about. The 1994 P Washington quarter may look standard, but some carry minting flaws so rare, they've become legends among coin hunters. From double dies and off-center strikes to missing layers and struck-through planchets, these hidden minting mistakes have turned ordinary coins into extraordinary finds worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. To understand why this coin is so fascinating, let's rewind to 1994, a year when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of circulation coins across multiple facilities. The Philadelphia Mint was operating at full capacity, striking millions of quarters daily to keep up with national demand. But during this massive production surge, tiny errors occurred, some so subtle that even mint workers missed them. A few 1994 P quarters were struck with doubled inscriptions on the obverse, where the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" appear faintly doubled under magnification. Others were struck off-center or on experimental planchets that were never meant for quarters at all. These accidental misstrikes escaped into circulation, and for years, no one noticed their value until eagle-eyed collectors began finding them in the wild. Imagine being the person who spots that doubled text under a magnifying glass, realizing they're holding a rare error coin straight from the mint's history. Stories of discoveries like these spread fast across collector circles, fueling a nationwide hunt for the rare 1994 P quarter. Every new discovery adds to its mythos, a reminder that even in the age of modern minting precision, perfection isn't guaranteed, and mistakes can create fortune. It's that blend of mystery, rarity, and pure luck that keeps collectors checking every coin that passes through their hands. When compared to other Washington quarters from the same era, the 1994 P stands out as a prime example of how small variations can create massive collector demand. A regular 1994 P quarter in circulation might only be worth 25 cents, but in uncirculated or high-grade condition, its value already rises to several dollars. However, error varieties, those double dies, off-center strikes, or missing clad layers, skyrocket in value because of their uniqueness. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated and certified several examples, and each one continues to rise in market value as collectors compete to own a piece of this modern rarity. Now let's talk real numbers, because this is where things get exciting. A 1994 P Washington quarter graded mint state 67 by PCGS sold for an incredible $1,400 at auction. Another rare minting error from the same year, struck on an experimental planchet, brought in over $1,700. And that's not all. Other verified high-grade examples have fetched several $100s in certified sales, showing that the 1994 P quarter isn't just a common coin, it's a potential hidden jackpot waiting to be found. These are not rumors or internet myths, these are documented, verified auction prices proving that rarity, condition, and minting errors can turn pocket change into serious profit. So, how can you tell if your 1994 P quarter might be one of the rare ones? Start by examining the details closely. Look for doubled letters in Liberty or In God We Trust, check for off-center designs where the rim looks uneven, or inspect for missing clad layers that expose a copper-colored surface underneath. Hold your coin under bright light or use a magnifier. Sometimes the difference between an ordinary coin and a rare treasure is a detail barely visible to the naked eye. If you suspect you found something unusual, have it authenticated by PCGS or NGC to confirm its rarity and grade, because that certification could multiply its value instantly. Collectors often find these rare 1994 P quarters in old coin rolls, inherited collections, or even pocket change that's been overlooked for decades. The thrill of discovery keeps treasure hunters searching daily, proving that real hidden gems are still out there, waiting for the right person to find them. These coins aren't just metal, they're time capsules, snapshots of minting history, and testaments to how one tiny imperfection can create lasting value. So before you spend that next quarter, take a second look, because the rare 1994 P Washington quarter might be hiding right in your hand. It's living proof that even the most ordinary-looking coin can hold an extraordinary story and an even greater value. If you love discovering the hidden worth in everyday coins and want to know the real auction prices that collectors are paying right now, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We bring you the truth behind the rarest coins, the verified values, and the amazing discoveries that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Don't miss the next big story, because the next rare coin could be waiting for you right now. Coin 5. Finding a 1998 Washington quarter in your pocket change that's worth thousands of dollars today. A simple 25-cent coin with a small P mint mark that could secretly be one of the rarest and most valuable modern quarters in U.S. history. What if I told you that this everyday coin could hold a hidden minting error so rare that collectors are paying thousands of dollars just to own one? This is the incredible story of the 1998 P Washington quarter, and why you should start checking every single quarter you touch. Take a close look at this coin, the sharp profile of George Washington, the detailed feathers of the eagle on the reverse, and that tiny P mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint. It looks completely ordinary, right? But among the millions struck in 1998, a few quarters were minted with rare and dramatic errors, coins that slipped through the mint's quality control and made their way into circulation completely by accident. Some were struck on experimental planchets, some display powerful double dies, and a few even show missing clad layers exposing the copper core beneath. These rare mistakes transformed an everyday 1998 P quarter into a collector's dream, and a potential payday worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's rewind to 1998, a year that marked the end of an era for Washington quarters. Just 1 year before the U.S. Mint launched the famous 50-state quarters program, the 1998 issue was the final full-year release of the classic eagle reverse design that had been in use since 1932. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion quarters that year, but hidden among the ordinary coins were a handful of incredible minting errors that became instant legends. Some of the most famous were struck on experimental planchets meant for the upcoming state quarters, while others revealed doubled inscriptions or off-center strikes caused by die misalignment. Each of these errors represents a unique piece of minting history, an unplanned masterpiece born from precision gone slightly wrong. Collectors love these coins not just because they're rare, but because they tell a story of transition, the bridge between the classic Washington quarter and the modern designs that followed. The 1998 P quarter symbolizes the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, and that gives it historical importance beyond its face value. Add in the mystery of the rare errors, and you have a coin that collectors will chase for generations to come. Each verified discovery adds excitement to the numismatic world, proving that even modern coins can hold extraordinary value when rarity, condition, and history collide. Now let's talk about how collector demand has exploded for this coin. Regular 1998 P quarters, even in pristine uncirculated condition, can sell for several dollars when graded mint state 66 or higher. But the error varieties, those struck on experimental planchets or with double dies, take the market to a whole new level. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC have certified several examples, and each one commands premium prices at auction because they're nearly impossible to find. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for verified pieces, and the bidding wars can get intense when a rare error surfaces on the market. Now here's where it gets truly exciting, the real auction numbers that prove the 1998 P Washington quarter is no ordinary coin. A verified 1998 P quarter struck on an experimental planchet sold for a staggering $10,500 at Heritage Auctions. Another high-grade mint state 68 example with exceptional luster brought in over $1,500. Even minor mint errors from 1998 have sold for hundreds, proving that this unassuming quarter has the power to surprise even the most seasoned collectors. These aren't myths or online exaggerations, these are real, documented sales showing that this coin has serious value in today's numismatic market. So, how can you tell if you might be holding one of these valuable 1998 P quarters? Start by checking for that P mint mark on the obverse, just above Washington's ponytail. Look closely under bright light for doubling in the inscriptions, Liberty, and, In God We Trust. Flip the coin over and examine the reverse for off-center strikes or unusual color variations that could indicate a missing clad layer. If your coin feels slightly lighter or heavier than normal, it could be struck on an experimental planchet, an instant red flag for rarity. And if you think you found something special, don't guess, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and authentication, because that official certification is what transforms your find from a curiosity into a verified treasure. Coin hunters across the country are still finding these rare 1998 P quarters in old coin rolls, bank bags, and even pocket change. It's living proof that hidden treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. Every time you pick up a quarter, you have a chance to hold a piece of American history that's worth far more than 25 cents, so before you spend your next quarter, take a second look. You could be holding one of the rarest and most valuable Washington quarters ever made. The 1998 P Washington quarter is more than just a coin, it's a story of American craftsmanship, accidental rarity, and the thrill of discovery. If you love learning about rare coins, real auction prices, and the hidden fortune that could be sitting in your change right now, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We bring you the truth, the facts, and the real collector stories behind America's most valuable coins. The next great discovery could be waiting in your pocket, so start checking your quarters today.